And this idea just kind of kept coming back to me, kind of kept coming back and coming back. And eventually I started to play with the idea. Can I? Is that something I can do? And then finally, I put a how in front of the can I. See, how can I triggers that creative use of our imagination, the thing that you are really desiring to do, that big idea, that big goal that you're trying to pursue and that's trying to express itself through you. How can you? I know there's at least one thing that you could do that if you took action on that, if you took the action, you took the step, it would take you closer to where you wanted to be. And I want to encourage you, take that action step. What is that action step? So number 2 is incorrect use of imagination. And then the third one is we do not persist without exception. We do not persist without exception. Going back to the book, Think and Grow Rich, he's got a line in there where he says that the majority of people, they quit at the first sign of opposition. However, there are a few who carry on despite all opposition. I'll have people ask me, how many times should I continue to try before I just try to move on to something else? And really the question is this truly your goal? Is this really what you're after? Is this really your vision? And if it is, then it's a one-word answer. And the answer is until. Until. You keep on until you accomplish the goal, right? You continue until. Here's what I see most people do, though, is, we get all excited, we'll set a goal, and we'll get going, and what happens anytime you're doing something new is obviously it's not going to work out perfect, and the first time you trip or fall or the yogurt hits the fan, right? People throw their hands up and say, well, obviously this isn't going to work out for me. I'm just going to quit right here. And Or I work a lot in real estate, and I think this example will kind of bring this one home. I'm working with a realtor, and they'll say, well, this year my goal is to sell $10 million. And then they get to June or July, halfway through the year, and they're only at like $2 million. They're not even halfway towards the goal. And what most people do is they'll take a look at the goal, and they'll shrink the goal to match the plan that they're on. And what I'm going to suggest to you is that if this is truly your goal, if 10 million in this real estate example is your goal, then you don't shrink the goal to match the plan. You change the plan to take you to the goal. It's obviously the plan isn't working. Take the plan and chunk it out the window. Find you a new plan. If that plan doesn't work, take that plan and you chunk it out the window. And you persist without exception into finding a plan that will take you to your goal. I want to read you this. This is out of a book, one of my favorite books. It's The Traveler's Gift here, okay? So just real quick excerpt from the book. He says, by persisting without exception, my outcome is assured. It's already assured, right? I will persist without exception by focusing on the result. An athlete does not enjoy the pain of training, but he enjoys the result of it. In Jeremiah, my Creator declares that I have plans to prosper you, plans to give you a hope in the future. From this day forward, I will stake a claim on my future. I will persist without exception. And I love that. See, it's the few who do, and the few that carry on despite all obstacles, despite all opposition, that become the envy, I'm telling you, the envy of the many who only sit on the sidelines of life and all they do is spectate. All right, so number 4, the last one.